thumbnail. We'll get started. Thumbnail is Jane Daniels, by the way.
I haven't looked at it yet.
It's normally Lamar, Ethan. So
Lamar looks icy even when we lose.
should have been Jameis. Lambo would never.
No.
You a Ravens fan?
Yeah, he is a Ravens fan. We got a lot of Ravens fans supporting the pod.
You should have done an injured Deshaun Watson
Oh,
on the ground.
we used to have some good. Lambo used to make. Remember the NBA playoffs when he made all the goofy ones? Like he had the frauds and he had a bunch of NBA players. In
Yes, this one's very good.
Let's get the show on the road, shall we?
Okay.
All right, we're gonna start recording in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I am your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing good, Chris. We're doing so good that we brought on a disappointed Ravens fan, NFL analyst, Ethan. How's it going?
What's going on, guys? Tough week to be a Ravens fan, but won't last for long. Gonna smack up Bo Nix this week.
Oh, the Broncos. Yeah, that should be easy pickings. Let's get right in the wise picks, and then we'll do the rest of the week. First off, Philly, Cincinnati, over 48.5. I'm just mad at Jalen Hurts. He screwed me in fantasy. The Bengals let up tush pushes.
Barkley.
Yeah, they let up tush pushes from the 3-yard line. It's a porous defense. And the Bengals, Ethan, I want to hear your reaction on this specifically because the AFC North bitterness. But without T. Higgins, their offense just cannot get going.
For as good as a quarterback as Joe Burrow is, if he doesn't have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, which are two number one receivers, they kind of look mid. And the fact that he needs both is kind of crazy. So I was saying, when he has both, they're probably one of the hardest offenses in the NFL to stop.
Mhm.
But without one, you need – and they're coming up to this offseason where one or both are going to be gone. Neither are paid.
And Chris, it was your
interesting
pick.
to see what they do.
Over 48 did hit. We're in the green here. So mainly the Eagles, but what are your takeaways here?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily how I expected this game to go. I didn't realize that the Eagles would beat them by 3 scores, but the Cincinnati defense is porous, and this is the best we've seen Philly play since 2 years ago when they went on the Super Bowl run. It looks a lot easier for them now, and like when you get Jalen Hurts just playing efficient quarterback, where he's not playing hero ball, he's not turning the ball over. You can just rely on the insanely talented skill players that they have. Like, this is when this team is at its best. So, did not expect him to hold the Bengals to that low of a point total, but they made up for it on their own end.
Yeah, we needed them. We needed them a late touchdown in the fourth quarter, and they had some pride and covered the spread or the over under, and did it. So that was nice. I'm glad they didn't just kick a field goal at the end like most teams do, or play for a field goal at least. We'll get to that later. I'm bitter. Yeah, that's all I had. So is Joe Burrow is the wide receivers just that bad that T. Higgins is that good, or is Joe Burrow just can't connect with other wide receivers?
I don't know if it's a connection thing. I don't know if it's like, T. Higgins and Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase get all the snaps at practice, so the other guys just don't have any chemistry with them.
They don't
but
practice all summer. You'd think that all the other
that's
guys.
True. You think, yeah. And I think Burton, their rookie this year, made some great. At least on Bengals Twitter, they're loving the guy, and he hasn't made, I don't think, any plays this whole season.
He did have
so
a 41-yard catch. It's
one of those weird things where it just disappears.
But but no like.
He did some catches against the Chiefs, I think. I remember that.
But no, as you said,
it
no
was like
big
him
time
and
plays.
Gesicki.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird offense, and the running game has not been able to figure it out the whole season.
No, I didn't think losing Joe Mixon would have this much of an effect on them.
No, it's funny. It's almost a resurgence of running backs this year, where it's like good running backs kind of do matter, and a lot of teams are showing that. And Chase Brown and Zach Moss are they're both two cheeks of the same ass.
Yeah, Chase Brown's gonna be one of those guys you give the ball to every 5 carries, not every other carry.
Agreed. But thankfully the Eagles helped us out there. My first pick, I had the Browns, Ethan. I had the Browns. I didn't think they'd win, but I thought they'd have a garbage time touchdown at the end, but they ended up taking the win. Go ahead, take the reins here on another Ravens AFC loss.
All right, my biggest thing I want to start off with: do you guys consider this a fourth quarter like meltdown, awful, terrible, or do you think it was a back and forth game that we lost in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was a back and forth.
Yeah, I thought it was just a.
You didn't blow a lead.
Yeah, I mean,
if I see on Twitter one more time, another Ravens, failure in the fourth quarter. No, dude, we let up one touchdown in the fourth quarter. It happened to be the one that won them the game, but it's a game.
Yeah.
But they kind of did exactly what we thought they were going to do. Slow game in the first half. Then they kind of started abusing our lack of corners and for whatever reason, our defense. They can't communicate at all. I think their last touchdown, Cedric Tillman, literally, it's like when you play in Madden, you switch your coverage and all the guys are in the middle, and then they just run the routes when no one's ready.
Yeah,
literally, like how does that happen? I don't get that.
He had a monster game. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Cedric Tillman,
right under 100 yards, 7 catches. Jameis was just chucking the ball to him.
It sucks because Jalen Armour Davis was covering him, but had we had Wiggins and Humphrey, Wiggins would have been on him, or Stevens, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. But the Ravens kind of look the same they have all year, kind of mid all game, some great plays, some horrible plays.
They were terrible on third down.
Sometimes we win with that, sometimes I think we let up 75-80% of their third downs. It was rough.
Yeah, they went 8 for 15. You guys went 2 for 10 and 0 for 2 on fourth down.
Yeah, can't win like that. It's remarkable we were in it as we were with those stats.
Yeah, I mean, right? And the thing about this game is if Hamilton catches that ball, then you win the football game.
If Hamilton catches his, if Eddie Jackson catches the 3 plays before him.
Wasn't the first drive a drop pick too?
The moment Bateman got hit in the face, I think that's when EDC said, "Let me call them Panthers and trade for Deontay Johnson because I'm tired of this."
Oh yeah, but he dropped it right in the middle of the field.
That was literally like a pop up.
Yeah.
And the wild part is he blamed the sun. It was super sunny that game. I don't get how some stadiums you look in the sun the entire game. I don't get how that works. But
it shouldn't be allowed.
He said he looked in the sun and lost it. Bro was running on an in route and tripped over his own feet. By the time the ball got to him, he was on his knees because he tripped. This is not the sun, bro. You fell over. Your eyes were closed because you were falling. Happy for him to be wide receiver 4 behind Nelson Aguilar.
So
yeah, I get sure-handed Nelson Aguilar.
Hey, don't disrespect Nelly. We also had a huge drop that would have sealed the game. Would have won the game there. There's like a 2-minute highlight video. It's like a 2-minute highlight video of just all of the Ravens blunders that game. I've seen it so many times. For a good team, we're comically bad.
There is some goofy plays at the Ravens.
Is that a good problem to have though, where you're so talented that the only way you lose games is just on ridiculous plays?
It's got to be.
I guess I'd rather be a bad good team than a good bad team.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you could be like the Pats.
It's like being a dumb smart person rather than a smart dumb person.
Yeah. So the Ravens traded today for Deontay Johnson from the Panthers, who formerly
fleeced them.
Yeah, they did fleece him. So do you know what they gave up to the Steelers earlier this year for him?
So I don't remember. I want to say like a 4th round pick, maybe. I know it was conditional something.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a 3rd or not because that would have been blasphemy. But the Ravens got a 6th rounder and Johnson for a 5th rounder.
And the Panthers are paying all of his salary. Ravens are paying $600,000.
The Panthers just giving it up, just give it up.
Yes,
that's what the Pats did with Uche. But this is a big need for the Ravens. They could have gotten another guy that drops the ball more though.
No, I saw somewhere since 2021's got bottom 10 drop rate.
It's always the big plays though.
Yeah, I do think he drops a lot of big 3rd down, 4th down passes that are not good looks.
Yeah, and he had on the Steelers he was really good, and he had the longest streak without getting a touchdown for a while on that team.
I think he's a good player. Though,
I think he's a good player.
Hasn't he been the wide receiver 1 on most of the teams he's played on? Because he was after AB.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was wide receiver 1 of the Panthers, but so it'll be nice to see how he looks as a wide receiver 2 or even 3 behind our tight ends.
Yeah, you don't have to rely on him. Zay Flowers has been good this season. But he'll be in those big spots in playoff games on third downs. Like
he'll be in those big spots against
for.
third corners.
Yes, hopefully. But that's what you got him for those big
100%. And honestly, maybe this gives Bateman a little push in the back, and he gets better. A little double whammy trade.
That's a lot of hope. Anyways, I have
it's a great spin though. I respect that spin.
I have Johnson in fantasy, and it is the fantasy league that you're in, so there might be bias. But is that trade value Is that value going up or is that value going down? Because like Andy Dalton was feeding him.
I think he'll be more streaky, but I think he'll have higher highs. If that makes sense.
Yes,
like he'll have better good weeks, but he'll also have weeks where he gets 2 catches for 30 yards, and that's it.
Okay, understandable. All right, let's go to the next pick then. Last, any lingering thoughts you want to get off your chest, Ethan, before we move on?
If we let Bo Nix pass for over 300 yards, I'm gonna have a serious issue. Like. My new apartment's not that far from the facility. There might be a visit.
Anyways, next pick. Chris, you had the under in the New Orleans Chargers game. That was an easy under.
That got a little bit dicey.
It could get dicey. Yeah,
when the Saints drove down.
Yeah, they were at the 1 yard line. That's true.
I thought the game was over, and then because I just had it in the bottom left corner. I was focused on the Commanders game, and I was just glancing over, and I was like, okay, stop him. I look back over, and the Saints are running another play. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But, of course, they stopped them.
The Rattler experiment, I think, is over already. They've benched him
Rattler's
twice.
looking like Badler.
They've benched
I don't know if you can just bury him completely, but it wasn't.
He's a backup. It's
not great.
Yeah,
he's probably not a starting NFL quarterback.
No, I don't think so. And it's tough. He gets thrown in there. All of his wide receivers are gone the first 2 weeks. He didn't look good last.
Do we know what the injury to Rashid Shaheed was? Like, is he out all season?
Yeah,
he's
on
IR for 4 weeks.
He's out all season. I don't know what it is, but he's out all season. I know that. Some Taysom Hill action in this game. Just a sloppy game. It's funny though. It's exactly what we predicted, Chris. The Chargers did what they had to do to win the game, and the Saints fumbled around for 4 quarters.
Yep.
And it's funny too, as they were lucky they got that stop at the end for the under, but right after they got up, the Chargers just run the football, make sure no one gets hurt.
Yep, that was a disgusting game. I mean, they actually scored points in the second half.
That's true.
Something that I wasn't necessarily expecting. But yeah, it just felt like one of those Chargers game, at least this iteration of the Chargers, where when they play an inferior opponent, like once they get control of the game, it's pretty much over, and it just turns into like 1970s football.
Ladd McConkey's the best.
That's that Greg Roman effect.
Yeah,
baby.
He's pretty cool.
Ladd McConkey's awesome.
Yeah, it is Greg Roman.
Did you see they tried to kill Herbert?
But yes, Ladd McConkey is cool.
Former Raven Bradley Bozeman coming to his defense.
He tried. Oh, okay. I thought you meant he was the guy trying to kill him. I was like, you're trying to.
No. We don't raise that.
Culture problem.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried to twist his ankle on the scrub, like after they tackled him. That was a shitty move.
We got Downnygate part two.
Part 2. All right, that's all I got on the game. Sloppy game, boring game.
Yeah, there really isn't much to say, which is why I like.
I didn't watch the second of it.
Yeah. My pick is one of the 2 traps we fell in. Packers are on my no bet list. I'm done with the Packers. They pissed me off. They at the end of the game, it's a tie game, 2 minutes left.
It was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do.
Good teams cover. You gotta at least attempt a touchdown there. For them to not even attempt a touchdown.
They did. They went
Yeah, they went all the way down the field, and then they
basically went down.
And then they went down, and they didn't get a touchdown. I just
Do you
think
guys
he doesn't
think
come
players
forward.
going down
I mean, it
early
was-
to like secure the win actually does anything? Like, do you think it's worth it
Oh
to go
yeah,
down
no,
early?
yes.
I
do.
thought so. I thought so at that point because there were still like 50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I do. I understand it.
I would not expect Trevor Lawrence to drive down the field in 50 seconds and score a touchdown, but still.
It's just they were the better team, and they were getting their ass kicked by the Jaguars, honestly, and then they ended up winning by rushing them down the field. And Josh Jacobs was great. I guess they weren't getting their ass kicked, but the Jaguars actually looked decent, and they still couldn't win. All right.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at with Jordan Love right now because I was so high on him at the beginning of the year, and he had like a 2 or 3 game stretch where it's like, all right, yeah, this is the Jordan Love that we saw at the end of last year. This was a big step back, and then he got hurt.
Well, in the first quarter, it's like they're just trading picks, him and Lawrence, and it's a mess. And they really need the run game. And it's funny, Dobbs is the first person to ever sit out a football game for targets, and then it works because Dobbs gets targets all the time. Tucker Kraft is great. They have great. They're a fun offense. There's just weird turnovers with Jordan Love that come.
He's just like Brett Favre reincarnated. You got a 50-50 shot every play.
Yeah, that's true. And it's not like every play, but it's definitely 70-30. Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So that pissed me off a lot. I was mad at
It was a tough spread to have.
Yeah. And then the other trap that we fell into with the Texans Colts. You had that one.
And they were actually pretty close to losing that game too. I don't understand how Anthony Richardson can look so horrible and they're always in games.
Yeah,
it's
like
like Bro
mind-boggling
tapped
to
himself
me.
out because he was tired.
Yes.
Who tapped himself out?
Anthony Richardson
He
on
came out
third
for
down.
a
Bro
play, he was
said
tired.
and ran off.
He's like, I'm too winded. I'm like, come on.
At the end of the game in the presser, he was like, "Yeah, did a lot of running
So
the play
wait, did-
before.
did
Looked
Joe-
around, smiling. No one laughed.
Did Joe get in at that point?
Yeah, came in, handed the ball off on third down.
Joe's starting. They benched him. He went 10 for 32.
That's why.
I've-
100%.
That's gotta have
Oh,
something to do with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Locker room probably hates the kid.
Also, yeah, if
Like,
you are 10 for
make one handoff
32,
when
you
you're tired and
you
catch your
can't
breath.
you can't sub yourself out. This isn't basketball. You can't shoot
No.
30% and then sub yourself out.
It was, yeah. it was
Especially if you're like a running quarterback and you're saying you're tired. Like, I've seen Lamar run 80 yards.
Isn't the whole
and not
point
look tired?
Isn't the whole point that they got him because he's athletic?
And young, he's bro's 22. He's our age, saying he's tired. Like a 40-year-old Joe Flacco subbing in for him. Like, come
That's
on.
ridiculous.
Literally.
So yeah,
the more you think about it, it just gets worse.
he's benched. They're 4-4 still somehow. And
That's
Joe's
what
gonna
I'm
take him to
saying,
the
like,
playoffs.
they don't get blown out,
Joe's gonna take him to the playoffs.
even when he's in there.
Watch him
Oh,
beat
yeah.
the Vikings.
Steichen's a good
Absolutely.
coach.
Oh, they're playing the Vikings Sunday Night Football. Watch them beat them. The spread's gonna be like 10. Watch him beat 'em.
Primetime Joe.
Yeah, watch him beat 'em.
We're gonna see Joe's player intro.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yes.
awesome. Out of the University of Delaware. Let's go, Joe.
Yeah,
Oh.
Delaware, Joe Flacco.
Can't wait.
I like.
But if you
I don't think they're gonna be world beaters, but I think they could beat some teams that sleep on them.
I think they could make a wild card game and beat whoever. If they get like a
Same thing as
good
the Browns
matchup.
last year.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
they could be the Browns from last year. That's where their ceiling is.
Especially if
Their
if the
defense isn't as
Steelers
good,
win our
but
division.
I think.
It's a crazy concept to
I can't
accept.
believe that just came out of your mouth.
I don't think it's gonna happen. They have a very hard second half schedule. If
We'll get to them. Matt's in the comments fantasy scouting because he plays me this week. Anyways, Joe Mixon though was a part of this.
You see, I lost by
part of this game.
0.7 points.
I did see
We're talking
that.
about fantasy.
Yeah, you did. You got
bad beat.
And
Najee
McPherson
Harris.
missed the field goal,
Oh.
which sucks.
I had Joe Mixon in this game. They love Joe Mixon.
Yes.
He had 66 yards in the first half. He ended up with 102. Easy 75.
Why don't we just find easy, wise picks like this for all of our picks?
I
Because
don't
looking back on it, like this pick made no
simple.
sense.
It
I
is
don't, like,
simple.
he had like 100 yards every game this
I
year.
know.
And his total at 75 against one of the worst rush defenses in the league.
Diggs is injured. That's
Let's
gonna be
just do
huge.
that going forward.
That's
Is it
huge.
going to be that
Yeah,
huge?
I mean, they'll
though?
have Collins coming back though.
Hopefully. I mean, hopefully soon, right? I don't know when it is. I haven't been updating on.
I'm not sure.
Collins. But
But,
they
like,
have.
I think
6
if
and
it's a
2.
4-week one, it's got to be soon.
I mean, they have John Mechie. They have Xavier Hutchinson, who always is projected fantasy points but never does anything. They have
Yeah,
Tank
Tank
Dell,
Dell.
and they have Bobby Trees. So
And Dalton Schultz, good tight end. It's not like they got a bad option there.
yeah, that's true.
Joe Mixon can catch out of the backfield a little bit.
Yeah, no, they won't be. They won't be terrible. But I mean, it definitely
No.
loses an element to their game.
One less diva on the field.
Yeah, he's out for the season though too, and that
I never
sucks.
made them that much better in the first place though. Even when they
No,
made the
he was just a
trade,
good.
It seems like a weird spot.
Yeah, he was just
Good
a
red
good
zone guy.
utility though. Yeah, he was a good utility for them to have. It sucks though that he was on a 1-year deal. Remember, he converted his deal, and now he's injured. So that's kind of
Yeah, that's a bummer at his age too.
Yeah, it's a bad.
He'll be a Cowboy.
Oh,
A
I can
Raven
see-
next
yeah.
season.
No, that's
30 coming off an ACL tear.
Raven.
That's a Raven.
I don't know.
He could
I can
come
see a
home.
Cowboy too. He could come home to yeah.
He could be a commander.
All right, those are our wise picks. Let's do the Commanders. Speaking of them, and let's bring in Adam. We're bringing in another guest here because lifelong. Sorry, I have his contact and it's not Adam.
Lifelong Redskin,
Yeah, sorry.
Washington football
Yes.
team fan,
Thank
and
you.
Commander fan. Bros love them all.
All right, so we are.
It's like a witching hour. The witching hour of the wise guys. I see his profile picture.
Oh, 1 second.
Now that Tim's got a really small camera.
That was actually him after the Hail Mary.
Bro died.
There we go.
There he is.
What's going on?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So yeah, let's cut out the last 17 seconds of this game, and we witnessed a game where they completely dominated on both sides of the ball inside the 20s. Could not score in the red zone whatsoever, but outgained the Bears by like 150, 200 yards. Made Caleb Williams look incredibly uncomfortable for 3 quarters. Jaden had a nice game, and they were going to let it slip away because they could not convert in the red zone, and they couldn't get a stop when it mattered. It was one of those games where there's no moral victories at all. Like, you lose at home to a team you shouldn't have, and it sucked. It was horrible. And then the Hail Mary happens, and you forget about all of it instantly. It all goes away, and it was just euphoric. Like, I can't think of a better word to describe what that was.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 called back touchdowns, Zach Ertz caught it, can't change my mind. But then the Olamide Zacchaeus turned on the burners, and that got called back for holding. That was a big
Sixth
play.
illegal man downfield.
Yeah, by what, quarter of a yard, something like that. He was a yard and a half downfield. I mean, it was. I think other than the red zone offense, it was a solid game for every part of our team. I think our offensive line, really, even on our third left tackle, I think they have been an unexpected bright spot in this team. And the Hail Mary it felt like the ending that we deserved after watching the domination overall. I mean, before the last 10 minutes of the game, Caleb Williams he had 3 completions for 33 passing yards or something. Going into the last 10 minutes of the game, he was getting completely stomped. And then our defense just stopped defending. They started playing soft. Looked like classic Commanders football there for a bit, but
You guys tried to pull the Ravens. Fourth quarter blunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wannabe fridge.
If you're handing it off to someone with elbow pads on, bro's not gonna be able to hold the ball. He can't bend his arms past here.
Yeah, I don't know what Eberflus was thinking with that one, and then
He's
letting
such
Terry.
a dumb idiot. Like that whole staff should be fired.
Yeah, Eberflus. I mean, between that and he's a defensive coach, he should know not to give up two. What did we get? 15-yard plays on that last drive
and
leading
did
up
you
to the
see
Hail
his
Mary.
quote
Terry
after the game? He was like,
in shock that he
like,
got
yeah, it doesn't
3
even
yards.
matter. He's like, it's all about that last play, like the execution of that. And then they cut to Dan Quinn, and he's like, oh yeah, the play before was huge. Like we wouldn't have been able to throw a Hail Mary if we didn't.
Oh
get
yeah,
this
100%. That was. Yeah, we got.
No, they couldn't have. Yeah, he could not have thrown. That was the furthest he can throw.
Yeah, we got 35. What we got, or 30 yards in 5 seconds leading up to the Hail Mary that we desperately needed. That they just kind of gave us. They just gave us our half of the field, and that set us up for everything.
Yeah.
Rush 5.
Also, like maybe rush more
5.
than 3 against
Yeah.
Daniels. If you rush 3 guys at him, he could run around. He could have ran around for 2 minutes back there.
I mean, Tyreek Stevenson definitely didn't help out there taunting fans while receivers were 40 yards downfield.
That
was the cherry on top.
Epitome.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then he was the one that tipped it to Noah Brown. It was poetic.
You're supposed to box him out.
Yeah, that's.
Brown was just sitting back there with
And
like 3 yards of space. He was calling
Oh, yeah.
it all.
Literally fell into his hands.
Talk about coaching though. Like the Commanders, everyone was in their spot. Dan Quinn said like Noah Brown was supposed to be there for the tip. Zach Ertz was supposed to jump up, cause the ball to deflect. And then everybody on the Bears was doing the wrong thing. Tyreek Stevenson on the why would you run from the left corner all the way to the right? Like why would that's not even your zone in prevent.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Bro panicked. No. Literally.
They did. They all
Yeah, he
pointed.
started panicking. That was the biggest thing. Is he panicked and abandoned everything.
Pointing.
Noah Brown sitting there. I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
It was something else.
The Bears dysfunction because they are that was a disaster. But Adam, I'll raise you like that was the ending we deserved after dominating that game. That was an ending we deserved after 25 years of pain and misery, especially at that stadium. Like
first time since before the merger that we've scored with no time left on the clock. It's never happened before for us. It was a cool ending.
It was pretty cool.
I've been watching clips for the past 3 days. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're up there. I like it. I really do. We play the Eagles, I believe we play them. Yeah, we do Giants, Steelers, Eagles, and then I think we go Cowboys, and then we play. I know we play the Cowboys and Eagles twice in our last 6 weeks, so that's 4 of our last 6 games. It's gonna be close.
It'd be awesome if you guys play on week 18. Ticket prices will not drop. Act soon.
Yeah.
I fell for that one time already.
Yeah, good side note. No, but I'm really hopeful for where this team's going. I was called crazy by some of our friends, aka Thomas, for saying we could go 12 wins, and I said we could be 7-2 going into the Steelers game. And so far, we're 6-2 going into our game against the Giants, And no free games in the NFL, but we beat them once. Why
Game
can't we
times
do it
did look
again?
pretty good.
And well, whenever they play us, he turns into prime Eli Manning. It's just
Yeah,
it's
he's
inevitable
Vanilla
for some
Vic.
reason. Yeah, it's unreal. But so it's gonna be, and divisional games are always good, no matter what, no matter how seemingly lopsided the matchup is. It always ends up somehow being a one possession game in the fourth quarter because that's just how the NFL is.
Divisional
Um,
football, baby.
Yeah, and they're only like 3.5-point favorites too.
Yeah, it's not going to be a crazy. It's not a crazy lopsided game. I mean, the Giants' pass rush is one of the better
Nuts.
pass rushes in the league, so it's always something you got to take into account. Especially with us now being hopefully not for long, but down two left tackles. So that hopefully will be fixed soon. But overall, I'm really excited going into the tougher back half of our schedule. Oh yeah, we can keep
No more
our. I
7
mean, the
field goal games.
Titans.
Score 22 points and you got it.
Saints, yeah. And Atlanta, I think, is our
Yeah, it just depends which version of Atlanta we get. If we get the seeming Super Bowl contender Falcons or the circus show where nothing can go right for them.
I hope it's option number 2.
For our sake, I do too.
Hope we don't get the walking your trap take over your trap Falcon.
Yeah, no. No one can beat that
Um,
version of Kirk.
Yeah, every time
Cousins just
Kirk walks
dropping
back
feet.
in, you got to be a little bit nervous because, I mean, we drafted him, and that's where he started his career for a long first 6 years. So
Kirk a revenge game.
yeah, you like that. Who's the MVP of the team? Honestly, right now, I'm thinking Frankie. I think Frankie Louvu is making an absolute case for a big contract extension because we have him on that 1-year deal. I mean, he's been everywhere. Him and Bobby were a fantastic pairing. That Dan Quinn really he made something special there because people. I mean, Bobby for having all those washed allegations, he's been playing really well. I mean, he led the league in tackles last year, but the question was whether he could keep it up, and he has been. And
But he's
they've both been.
6th best linebacker.
Yeah, exactly. He's up there. But I really think Frankie has brought a lot of energy to this team, and he's stepped up, being one of the relatively younger captains. Where I mean, Terry's he's having the best year of his career. He's on track to have the most passing yards and touchdowns of his career, so that's awesome. But I think Frankie really stepped up and has solidified his captain spot on the defense.
I will get. Well, are we like MVP or like unsung hero? All right, I'm gonna go with our center, Tyler Biotish, because that interior offensive line that they've just they basically created through free agency. Him and Nick Allegretti have both been maulers inside. I think it's helped Brian Robinson a lot in the run game. It's helped Jade Daniels not seeing that pressure from the inside. And like they crushed both those free agent signings. And you look at the Cowboys now struggling because they don't have a good center.
Be a
Yeah, I
big test for
completely
Biotish
agree.
this week.
Yeah,
Dexter
he's
Lawrence
been.
has
I mean,
nine
Biotish-
sacks this season.
Really?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
they'll get beat by Dexter Lawrence. That's a given.
Yeah, it's just a matter of limiting how often they can get beat. You're definitely going to see a lot of double teams. I mean, that's going to be a given. Probably going to be
And they were able
Allegretti
to-
and
Yeah, they were able to run the ball a lot against New York in week 2. So I expect to get a healthy dose of Robinson. You can run,
yeah,
you can run
I
with
think
those
so
edge
too.
rushers.
For sure. Yeah.
Penalties. Both games where they've had like big issues, they've just taken a lot of penalties.
Always. And they're always, I mean, when is there ever a good time for a penalty? But it always just seems like it's at the worst possible time. Like that third and
Yeah, I mean, it came,
manageable,
like,
that third and
30
manageable
goals.
within the 20. And then you get a 10-yard gain, put us inside the 5, and then it's called back. All right, now it's 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, whatever it is. It's textbook. Me too. I really do.
Yeah, they probably
With
look a
our
lot
full
better without
with our full
Godwin and
playbook.
Evans.
No, that was my emotional insurance. Was Chris Godwin week 1 or Mike Evans week 1 in fantasy. That was all right. My spirit may have gotten torched, my team may have gotten torched, but Chris Godwin put up 25 points for me, so we're all right.
But not
I mean,
that
I
good.
went on that stretch where I was betting the like opposing number 1 receiver to hit their over for like
Yeah.
4 weeks in a row.
I was too
I think
until Forbes got hurt, and then I thought, all right, our team might get better. But then after the injury, Forbes has been looking better too. I mean, when he came back, he
Yeah,
hasn't
when
been
he's
getting
out there,
exposed.
he doesn't play a lot of snaps.
Yeah, he's not being forced to go one-on-one with AJ Brown every game now. It's like they're giving him rotational reps without forcing him to man up against the superstars.
Is St.
I feel
Juice
like
as bad as he was in the Ravens game, or is that just a one-off?
he is the most
He had a
inconsistent
pretty decent
person.
game, but
He was
he's
decent.
wildly inconsistent.
Yeah, he's the type
He's not a
to
great.
make the best play you've ever seen and then have to balance it out with a PI.
Yeah.
He's good. He's great,
Was it
and then
him or
he just gets exposed.
Igbenogany that took the PI at the end there?
They said Nagany, but they were showing all the cams were showing St. Just, so I couldn't really
Okay,
tell you.
that's right.
Yeah, they said number 1, but all the cameras were showing because
he was
out of the
out
play
a lot of
completely.
games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean bigger receiver, you gotta that's a fair matchup in my eyes. It's 2 big players.
Yeah, and he played
St.
pretty
Just is
well
what
against him.
4'6", 5".
Yeah, he's big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6'3", 200.
Okay, yeah.
That's big for a corner. Terrible.
Newton?
I was
PFF
gonna
hates
say
him.
Josh, huge game. He had his best game of the year.
Yeah, I was gonna say
PFF has him as
7 pressures.
121.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's John Allen getting hurt really is forcing him to step up, and I mean, this was his first full game with Allen out, and he was doing well. I mean, yeah, career
Yeah, he
game,
was
7
awesome.
pressures, a sack. He was, and I mean, and that fumble recovery from the failed fullback play.
Yeah. And he
Like
just took it all the way to
I
the
thought he
house.
did well. Yeah, yeah,
Do
he's
you think
progressing.
he thought he didn't go down when he ran back 100 yards? Like, do you think he actually thought that was just celebrating?
I don't know. I think it was whether he didn't think he tripped over, like he was contacted.
Because like that was
And,
a
like-
big dude running 100 yards to go back and like have to do it again potentially. Like,
I'm surprised he didn't do the old handoff. The old you got it from here.
honestly,
Once he got to the
I
40,
bet
he
you the
started
Packer
crawling.
guys were next to him, like, "Come on, man, come on, they're coming."
Oh, yeah. No, he's been doing well. He's been progressing a lot. I've been watching some of the coach conferences, and they've been saying he's progressing a lot. And with the injury of John Allen, he's gonna be kind of
snaps
forced to
has
step
been
into it.
progressively gone up every week, but
Mhm.
I say one pressure in week 5, one pressure in week 6, and then 7 in week 8.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he also wasn't playing. Like, it took him a while to get ramped up because he came in injured, and then he's
So
playing
12
behind
snaps,
Allen
20
Kane.
snaps,
So this
20
is-
snaps, 25,
Yeah.
37. So he's going up.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. He's progressing. I mean, I like all our rookies so far. Sinnott, he hasn't been getting involved too
Sinnott
much.
needs to
He's-
play
he's-
more.
But him and
Tell me more,
McCaffrey,
Sinnott.
they both do the things that they don't get stats for it. It may not be like the highlight, but they do a lot of off the ball stuff
They're
that
glue guys.
it's Yeah, they are. I mean, Sinnett's a beast in the pass block. Sinnett's
I
a
love
pass
that guy.
blocking beast, and McCaffrey's just always open, seemingly. I mean, I think it was a game, or I think it was 2 weeks ago. They were showing like every third play was just the camera would pan to McCaffrey wide open, 30 yards down the field. But it was just a matter of getting to him late in the progressions. With those four wide receiver sets and everything, it's a lot of progressions to get through. Yeah. I mean, I was screaming. I was just with my girlfriend and roommate in my living room watching the game. But my roommate was in his bedroom that shares a wall with the living room. So he was right behind me, and I was watching on Stream East, so mine's a little delayed, and he's on the phone with his friend, and I just hear, "Oh my God, Joey, go next to Adam." And and so Joey walks out and stands next to me as he snaps the ball, and it's just dead silent. And I was too stunned to speak when he caught it. I like jumped up and just kind of stared. I was just kind of like I was too stunned to speak. I started screaming afterwards. I was running. I'm sure the neighbors hated me. I'm a professional upstairs neighbor. Um, but no, I was running around. I was hyped. I could not sleep for a good bit after that. That was like a shot of adrenaline.
Yeah, it was like the easiest I've ever woken up on a Monday morning, I think.
Absolutely. I was skipping class on Monday morning. It was great.
That was the most that I've ever like jumped up and down, just like a child watching
Oh,
a game.
100%.
And I was watching with my girlfriend and Kevin, former guest of the pod, and I literally like jumped into his arms. He's not even a fit like he was just there to watch the ball. And I like jumped into his arms. My dog went crazy. Yeah, it was unbelievable. And then my mom called me.
Yeah, my mom texted me and said, "Did you see that?" I think she even commented on the Commander's Instagram post. I think I peeped that when I was
They're
scrolling through on
commenting, you know that
Instagram.
you got something.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's been a long time coming. Oh, no, no worries.
Waiting for the perfect moment.
Absolutely. Wait until we saw some success, something to get happy about.
Whoa.
I didn't say it. All right. Well, thank you very much for having me, and I will talk to y'all later.
Catch you later.
Yeah. Pale skins.
All right.
Hail who?
Left out the back.
We're back. Just three of us. That was fun. Glad we got Adam on. What else we got? We have I mean the witching hour was packed this week. In the game. I guess I'll go to the Pats. The Pats were one of the witching hour.
Yeah.
They won a game. Look at us. We beat the Jets. Always fun to beat the Jets. I saw a great meme. It was the Office meme of young Michael Scott shaking hands with I don't remember what the name of the guy is in the show, but the guy who gives him his job as the manager.
A truck.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Ed. Nice pull. And they're shaking hands, and it's New York Jets' highest expectations in 25 years, and the New England Patriots' lowest expectation in 25 years. And the handshake is 2-6. So that's always fun. We got a little revenge from a couple weeks ago, and Jacoby Brissett got his revenge. Drake May had a great first drive, ran it in for a touchdown, got concussed. So then Jacoby Brissett had to come in. I thought all hope was lost. Jacoby Brissett played well. He did what he had to do. Ramondre Stevenson, even though he didn't have a lot of yards per carry, got the 2 touchdowns when they mattered most. And the Jets kicker has lost them 3 games. I don't know.
He blows.
Yeah, I don't know how they fired.
They shouldn't be within 1 score of the Pats, though.
That's true. That's
I'm
true.
not
Very
blaming that
true.
loss. They got a world of problems. Kicker is far down on that list, I think.
Did you guys see Hassan
Even in
Reddick and Bill Belichick beefing?
No.
Bill Belichick called him out on Pat McAfee shows, like, look at this bum running right past the quarterback, not even trying. And then Hassan Reddick tweeted at him and said, like, get me out your mouth, something like that. It was nuts.
That's funny. I love
Belichick,
having Bill.
he's like
yeah.
unhinged now.
hmm
He's a dog, bro.
Rip Type Stevenson too.
I love
He's
it.
like, I don't even know what he's doing on this play. Like, he's
He'll
like,
say this will stick with him the rest of his career.
It will. Did you see that? Speaking of, I guess we could have had that with Adam too. But did you see that the Bears are that footage is going to be shown to every NFL team of what not to do on Hail Marys?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it past it out me.
No, you're totally fine. The Pats, I mean, they looked good. They had their wide receivers drop everything. I mean, Drake May threw some dots that just got dropped left and right. But Keyshawn Boutte, I shouted him out a couple weeks ago. He's coming onto his own. He had a couple drops himself, but he had a decent game. Had some clutch catches at the end where Jacoby Brissett very underthrew him, and he had to run back and catch them. But it sealed the game. Hunter Henry always clutch on a third down. I don't know how he's never covered on a third down, or even when he is, he just barrels through and gets it.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I mean, there's some hope here on the Pats. The defense played well. I don't know how sustainable this is, but we have the Titans next week. I think they're only 1-point favorites. If Drake May plays, I think we win.
What do you think the biggest? If you guys can continue on the path you're on, what do you think the biggest need is with the draft?
Oh, it's still offensive.
Like O-line, receiver.
It's still offensive line. The Pats have gotten some sneaky guys from practice squads that have played pretty well. But if we get a big fella to help out Drake May, that'd be nice. I do. I guess I see where you asked the question, because getting a blue chip wide receiver would just make this all
like a Jamar Chase. Like,
yeah.
We've seen how it can just like that.
And it might even be the fact that, like, Drake May might be fine with the worser offensive line but better with a better wide receiver.
Just like Joe Burrow was the year with Jamar.
Yeah, so I don't know what
meme, like the Penny Sewell meme.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Penny Sewell meme.
Ended up being inaccurate.
And
because they got Jamar Chase and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and so, like, I think the Pats could eventually take a leap like that. I'm always like, I don't think they're going to get the number 1 pick anymore, because I think they're going to beat the Titans this week.
I think Panthers number 1 pick for sure. It's a lock.
So I don't know who's going to be up there, but I'll take a wide receiver. I mean, we haven't seen a good wide receiver on the Pats. Like, they failed again with Jalen Polk. He was a healthy scratch this week. And
are they going for the wrong thing? Like, are they going for guys that can't catch but can run, can't run but can, like, is it a scouting thing? Is it just bad beats?
They're just, I don't know, man. They traded down in this draft, and Xavier Legette went, Keon Coleman went, Ladd McConkey went. All these guys are having better seasons than Jalen Polk.
Would have been a great Pat,
right?
Yeah, Ladd screams Patriots football.
I know, he would have been awesome
for some reason.
I think we traded the pick that Ladd was, so that's cool.
That's great.
And it's bad beat after bad beat with wide receivers, and that's kind of why I have hope for Boutte, because he was good in college and was like a 5-star at least in college. It's not some, like, he might have been a 7th rounder, but at least he's not like some guy out of Baylor that just broke the record.
His college career ended prematurely.
Yes.
He was like rushed into the NFL.
Yeah, he was rushed in. Yeah, exactly. And it's not like
reasons.
Yeah, for reasons that are funny. But like Tyquan Thornton's just some fast guy out of Baylor who can't catch anything, and I don't even know why Kendrick Bourne and Osborne are on this team. It's just a bunch of guys that they either are too slow to get open, or they can't catch, or both. So
hey, Lamar won an MVP with those type of receivers.
That's true. That's true. And I love what I've been seeing from Drake May. I think
he looks good.
I think he looks really good in the pocket.
Little Herbert looking.
Yeah, he's a little Herbert. And
Will he play?
I hope so. I haven't.
Is it just like a mild concussion?
I'm not sure. I'll see. Injury update. Anyways, we'll figure that out afterwards. He can run a little bit faster than I thought he could, and he makes plays with his legs. So
Got that sneaky fast where he's just super long, tall guy.
Yeah.
He's not like actually running that fast, but just covers a lot of distance.
yeah, it's like Josh Allen fast. And I'm not saying he'll be Josh Allen, but he's sure running like it right now. So dub for the
Vanilla
Pats.
Vic.
They still have some weird coaching stuff and weird comments still throughout the week.
Do you
but
think Mayo gets another year?
Not if he calls his team soft again.
I think they I
I
think
guess there's a lot of season left.
yeah, there's a lot of season left, and I think Kraft is too stubborn to cut him the first year. He wants to
It'll be like, this
that-
was our expectation.
Yes,
This
yeah.
is, retooling year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. They traded Uche for no reason. He signed a vet min, like not even a vet min, because that's like NBA, but like $5 million to stay with the Pats because he loved New England. When he had other suitors paying him more money, I'm sure it wasn't the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm sure he's happy to be in the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But
Got the nice part of New England fall, and then gets out of there
Yeah,
before the
that's
harsh
true.
winter.
That's
seriously.
true.
See you later.
Peak fall foliage.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's gonna be great for the Chiefs. Exactly what they need.
What do you think is going to be a bigger trade for the Chiefs, Uche or Hopkins?
I think
down
I
the
got
stretch.
Hopkins.
We'll probably see Hopkins more in the playoffs than Uche.
Just because they've looked so rough offensively.
Yeah, and they also have looked great defensively. So adding him in there is literally just like to spice things up. It's just like, let's get another pass because he's not a good run defender, so he'll never be out there for running plays. But
Those third and longs.
Yeah, and that's when they'll bring him in, and he'll be great. So disappointing that we just let him go for nothing when we could have just let him walk this offseason. But
Gotten a comp pick that would have been higher than
yeah, exactly.
pick you traded for?
exactly. Yeah.
and a year before that.
I just hope that doesn't happen to Kyle Duggar. He was out this game. I think he was actually injured though. I hope it's not a.
Yeah, because Uche was a healthy scratch.
Yeah, and then
That's
they
how
were
you
like,
know.
and they were like, yeah, he's gonna get traded on Monday. I was like, damn.
So Deontay Johnson was a healthy scratch.
Yeah, he's the same way.
Polk was
Were there
already
any other
a
healthy
scratch.
scratches this week?
Polk.
Should
on
we be
the
looking for anyone
Patriots.
else to get traded?
He's not getting
Any-
traded.
anyway.
But
Polk should have his scratch because he sucks.
yes, because
So like David Ojabo was scratched. He's garbage.
Oh yeah, they didn't rid of him.
I don't know. He's just bad.
Damon Davis was a healthy scratch a couple weeks ago.
And then they cut him.
He got cut.
All right, let's get through some of these other games. Cardinals, Dolphins was a fun game. Tua slid, everyone cheered. That was funny. Kyler Murray beat the Call of Duty allegations for the first week of Call of Duty. So that's good for.
Now
Kyler.
he's like, all right, bet. Here we go.
Yeah, he's
Now
got
he can
some.
play.
Got some
Monkey off his back.
Now he's got time to play. Yeah.
As long as he watches that 1 hour of film a week, or whatever it was.
How could they get that contract stuff leaked? I know we've mentioned it 100 times. On this
How does his
podcast.
agent say, yeah, Kyler, you're good.
Yeah,
This
like-
thing's great.
Yeah. Oh, and what's the team? Why'd the team leak that? It's like, what is the goal here? Tua looked good. Their offense looked better than they have in the past. Couldn't get the victory though. I was honestly focusing too much on the Pats to really know what happened in this game. But
Were you guys disappointed in how terrible Tyler Huntley looked as the Dolphins quarterback in his little stint there?
I just kind of assumed.
I thought he had a
that's how
chance.
It was a little surprising.
Yeah,
Because like he
that
kept the
bad.
Ravens. He didn't win a lot of games, but he kept us afloat. But like, dude couldn't complete a pass.
start a
on the
playoff
Dolphins.
game?
the issue is
Yeah, he fucking fumbled and jumped
Yeah.
over the pile. And, yeah.
the issue is the Ravens had a offense for Tyler Huntley. The Dolphins just tried to run Tua's offense with Tyler Huntley. And it didn't work.
The first game, bro, he was looking around like you had no idea where the ball was going.
Yeah, that was it was just the wrong game plan for him. And it's funny with all the fast people that they have on their team, you'd think that they could try to
Dude, like
run.
triple option.
Yeah.
Who
You
would be
would
able to
think,
stop
yeah.
him? Who? They had like four great running backs.
Tyreek in the
That's been
backfield.
a diss on Mike. Is this McDaniels?
Yeah. Yes.
That's been a diss on him
McDaniel.
since for a couple years now that his offenses have not advanced since that first season.
And they can't adjust at all. If it's
no.
not Tua going on, Tua having a great day, then they're bad.
Yeah,
if
they
they
don't.
come out and get smacked in the face, like they're basically done.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
adjust and they don't run a different they you can see with the backup quarterbacks, they run the same scheme, and it's like you have to switch it up.
That's what
at some
happens
point.
when you get guys that think they're like the
Geniuses.
smartest guy in the world
Yeah.
as your coach. Don't make
Yeah.
adjustments.
It's like, coach, maybe we should switch it up a little bit. It's like, no, we're gonna run the same scheme.
80-yard out
Yeah,
route.
kind of a lost
Tyreek.
season for them.
Go for it.
Yeah, it is almost. It's becoming that. And Tyreek Hill, after spouting out that everyone should start in fantasy, not
Kind of mid.
Yeah.
He had his best week.
Yeah, that's true. In
He did
weeks.
but yeah, it
Another
wasn't
bet of the
great.
week was the Tyreek Hill longest reception over 30 yards, easy, or 25 yards, easy peasy.
No, that's a good bet. I always hate the longest reception shit. Or like
I only
longest
like it for
rush.
guys like Tyreek when you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. I bet like Derrick Henry 13-yard longest rush is pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
lock.
Hammer that every week.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's move on. Titans Lions was an ass whooping.
Yeah, not much to say there.
What did Golf finish with?
He finished with
85
yards.
passing yards.
This was one of the most ridiculous stat lines.
Yeah, that was the only story of the game.
They scored 52 points.
Yeah, he did have 3 touchdown passes.
Talk about winning in every phase of the game, though. Like defense, they crushed them. Offense, they crushed them. Special teams, they crushed them. Like there was not one blunder, not one mishap.
No, that was
Special teams might have been the best part.
Yeah, they were terrible. With all the sacks that they got, they ended up having the Titans to 61 passing yards. And Mason Rudolph threw for 266 passing yards. So that means he got sacked that many times that
that's
it
disturbing.
ended up being 61 passing yards. That's insane.
Lions are the best team in the NFL right now.
I just need the
Almost
Chiefs
so
to
good
lose.
that it's
Just need the Chiefs to lose.
18 too early.
Beginning of the year, I mentioned last pod, I had him best record.
Most wins.
Or most wins, yeah. I need the Chiefs.
Is it not just the NFC?
I think it's most. I can check, but I think it's most in the NFL. So I need the Chiefs to lose some games here. But
I've got Ravens over Lions Super Bowl bet. I need the Ravens to start figuring stuff out.
You know, you'd rather them lose games now.
Yeah, honestly, So the fact that we went 0-2 to start, get those out of the way, and the fact that we actually looked like we learned things from those 2 losses was great.
Kirk came in. He did take over the trap in Tampa Bay. He threw for 4 touchdowns, no picks.
They tried to give that one away, though.
They did try to give it away. Their running game has just not been as good
almost
as
like
people
classic
would think.
Falcons.
It was.
Baker Mayfield threw another 2 picks.
Yeah, those were killers. The Falcons' run game is the only thing that's bothering me right now, and I guess like
13 carries for 63 yards.
Like I guess it's not terrible, but like
why is he not getting up by 2 scores? Though.
Yeah, why isn't he getting 20 carries? Like why do these teams keep doing this? Why is he not getting 20 carries a game?
I think Algier played pretty well though.
12 for 33. Like nah.
Ooh, that's not very good.
Kyle Pitts had a game though. He had an early touchdown where he was wide open. And then the other one where
you see he didn't score on that second one. That ball was out before he crossed.
Yeah, I did see that.
100%.
He definitely fumbled that ball at the 1.
1,000%.
I was like,
they literally showed the angle like
play.
Yeah, it was. It was the same thing.
And good on Winfield for not giving up there, even though they didn't count. Good job.
Yeah, kind of a garbage call for the Bucs there. But either way, the Falcons took over. Baker's still like he.
You think that? No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Baker's still like without his wide receivers. He had the 2 bad picks, but was still able to throw across the yard.
They were in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna be like 30 for 30 Jameis by the end of the year.
Could be something about that Tampa air.
So yeah, and like it could also be when you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Like you're just used to just like Mike Evans can just catch anything.
Just slinging it.
Yeah. None of their wide receivers, all of them got picked up in fantasy. I don't think anyone started any of them in fantasy though, and that was probably the good call. Cade Otton was the guy. By the way, tight ends.
Kim Jarrett.
Yeah, that's true. Jarrett.
Huge tight end guy.
Jarrett's a Maryland guy, right?
Yes, he is.
The tight ends. Matt told me. I was talking to Matt. I hope he's still watching. He told me his coworker put $20 on this like or $10 on this tight end parlay for National Tight Ends Day and won 20 grand.
Wow.
What was
So
it like all
it was
touchdowns?
like all
or-
touchdowns for tight ends. It was like a bunch of different touchdowns for tight ends, and that was it.
Tight ends went off on Sunday. It's kind of nuts.
It was funny because like I actually want to get it. Like, do you guys enjoy National Tight Ends Day? It is in your face. It is a little in your face.
It's super corny, but it's nice. Good
I
for
think
the
it's
guys.
fun. I think it's fun.
Yeah, there's
I
nothing.
got a
wrong with
free tight end
it. I
day
wouldn't say
shirt.
I'd like it or don't like it. Oh, I'd love it if I had a shirt.
You had a free
Oh,
tight
yeah.
end shirt.
Yeah, during COVID, the NFL Instagram won it on a like
Oh, nice.
thing. It's great. It said like
Did you wear it?
block,
Did you wear it every
runs.
tight end day?
I think I wore it once. Sent a picture back to the NFL Instagram. And never wore it again.
Oh, you should have worn it on Tight Ends Day.
I don't even know if this is a plain black T-shirt with just like
Run, catch, block. That's funny.
it was like run, catch, block, spike.
It was funny. I was talking about like my roommate was very very adamant against it. I was just like asking him why, and he has a good point. Running backs block, catch, and run. Do they not? And they get paid. I mean, I guess they don't get paid less than tight ends, but
They don't spike.
they don't spike. That's true. They don't. All right, that solves that. That's in the books. All right. Bills Seahawks. Bills stomped them. Amari Cooper did nothing for me. Very bitter about that. One catch.
The
for 3
Seahawks should fire Mike McDonald, send him back to Baltimore.
This game did shock me.
Yeah, I didn't think the Bills' run defense was going to be as good as it was. Kenneth Walker couldn't get anything going, and I guess it makes sense when DK Metcalf is out, but this offense couldn't get anything cooking. Wise dog.
I feel like they're kind of like the
man.
Bengals, that without all of their top receivers, they don't look nearly as good as they should.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And maybe like the rumors are true. Joe Burrow is just more of like a Geno Smith than we thought. But
I didn't say it.
He made a Super Bowl.
That's true. But the like quarterbacks like Geno Smith, I expect that to happen, and I guess I should have.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't put a bet here on this, but I should have. We should have hammered that a little bit more.
We did, and we have been talking about Geno's like one of the more inconsistent
Mhm.
quarterbacks in the NFL.
He plays like how
What
people
we
talk
called last week,
about
he
Kirk.
looked so
Cousins.
awesome.
How
About what?
does he play?
He plays like people say Kirk Cousins plays. Like Kirk Cousins is more consistent now than he used to be. Like the whole primetime
Yeah,
Kirk thing's
that
kind of
is
died
true.
off. Like that's how Geno is now. Like the whole you really never know what you're gonna get in a Geno game.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that.
Do you guys see the two Seahawks players fighting each other?
No.
No.
The two D linemen.
on
One of them freaking no, like on the field. One of them like laid into Josh Allen, hit like head helmet to helmet contact, got the penalty, and the guy came up on his own team. He just gets in his face, like pointing at his chest, shoving him. It was great.
That's funny.
I can't imagine having two defensive tackles on your own team fighting each other. That would
Yeah.
would never
Oh yeah.
happen.
Like, what do you do? Like the corner come up, hey guys, break it up. Just let him have it.
Chiefs Raiders
That did happen in Washington 2 years ago.
classic. Oh,
I think it was Jerron Reed. I think it was the same guy. Isn't it the same guy who was on the
No,
Commanders
this,
that did it?
this was Allen and Payne on the sideline when they
I
got
remember that.
boat raced by the Cowboys
Yeah.
on Sunday night. Anyway,
No, you're good. Chiefs Raiders classic. Chiefs led a backdoor cover. We kind of called that when picking it. We still don't want to bet against Mahomes though. Chiefs look better. Their defense still looks great. Offense still has some hinges to it, but Mahomes had a better day than he has had in the past. Travis Kelce went off for tight ends day. Hopkins didn't do much, but it's his first week. He'll get there.
He'll have a
he
couple
will
like
in
third downs
the
in
biggest games of
January.
the year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't know why the Ravens didn't trade for him. Because, like, talk about safe hands. Like, that's just some guy in a playoff game is just going to catch a nice third down catch. The exact opposite of what I said about Deontay Johnson. Even if it's not the biggest play of the game, it'll be a third down that you need, and he'll be there. And I feel like that's exactly what he's going to be for this Chiefs team. He's not going to have. He'll probably won't have the DeAndre Hopkins 200, 100 some yards and 2 touchdowns, but he'll have the clutch catches when it matters. Because that's just what the Chiefs do. They don't really surprise people.
Yep. It's like Miracle. You're looking for the right guys,
Yeah.
not the best guys.
I started Alexander Madison for some reason in fantasy.
Ugh.
I had a bad week in fantasy just for starting guys.
That's a bad week.
It was a dumb, and I picked him up too. I was like,
You dropped someone else for Alexander Madison.
Yeah, it was dumb. He sucked. They couldn't get anything on the ground going.
He can't play as a starter. He's like the best
running
back. Like in theory, he's
like
the best fill-in running back ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is like.
And then he actually gets the start. It's horrible.
Yeah, they should just start Zamir White the first play.
Yeah, give him like 8 carries.
Yeah, and then
announce him when the offense runs in.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's a bum.
Yeah, Zamir White sucks.
He actually sucks.
He's terrible.
They miss Josh Jacobs.
They do. I'm telling you, running backs are back. People are missing.
Why didn't they re-sign him? They have a lot of. Do you think Jacobs didn't want to stay?
I don't know.
I don't know why he would want to stay, but I think he was like a Raider for life guy, so I think he wanted to stay. I don't know. I know he didn't want to go to the Chiefs because he always wanted to beat the Chiefs.
I respect that.
Couldn't be me, bro.
I'm like Barkley.
Yeah,
scumbag.
Ring chasing.
Although in Barkley's situation, I'd be like, I want to go to the division rival.
Well, he wanted to go to the Giants.
Yeah, no, that's my point.
Yeah.
He wanted to stay. They didn't want him, so I would absolutely want to go to one of their most hated teams.
Only John Mara wanted him. Poor guy. Please keep our friend.
They did him dirty.
So bad. Bro's moping around the facility saying, please keep Saquon. And they did everything they could not to keep Saquon.
And then they documented it.
Why did you just say, like...
They let HBO document it.
$3 extra million a year. Like, you guys can handle it.
What's nuts is apparently, like, with Hard Knocks, the owners and the executives have the final say of what gets allowed in the episode. So John Mara was like, "Yeah, toss it in there."
I would. If I was the owner, I would. I would throw it in there. I would throw it in there if I'm the owner.
Because then, like, everyone can see that you were right.
Yeah, he was the
guy
talking
about.
At one
point, Joe Shane said the Eagles were out. Like, heard the Eagles are out. Bears driving up the price.
He just lied. He
like,
literally just lied.
Yeah.
Like
and when they said what their price that they wouldn't go above, and then the contract that they ended up signing was literally like $1 million over.
I don't get that.
I think we do this every 2 weeks, but I do love doing it. It's such a joke. It's such a joke.
Talking about the Giants is one of my favorite things we do on this podcast.
Yeah, I do like Tyrone Tracy now. Now that Motor's gone, out of here.
Yeah.
I like Daniel Jones, top 20 quarterback in the league.
Top 20.
Top 20.
Top 26.
Yeah, top 32. Top 32 quarterback in the league. Speaking of top 32 quarterbacks, we had Bryce Young versus Bo Nix in a bad game.
You see JC or the JC Horn yelling at Sean Payton for running up the score using fake field goals and shit.
No.
Yeah, what happened? Why? Sean Payton's an asshole.
He just is.
Yeah, literally, they're up by like 27 points running fake field goals, and then JC Horn found him after the game. It was like, "Don't do that. That's mean."
Who did that against the Ravens?
It is mean, but you're also
no. The Ravens did that against Vic Fangio against the Broncos. We ran it one more time to keep our 100-yard rushing streak, and they're all like way 30 yards downfield. And you see Vic Fangio on the sideline, "Get down! They're running the ball." He's like, "We got like a 2-yard gain."
I respect those streaks though. Like I thought when the Celtics that opening night they missed the last 13 threes, and then the last three they just held it in the last 2 seconds. It's like, dude, you already shot 13 of them. This is for a record.
What's 14 misses?
Yeah, you gotta go for it and respect the Knicks. Like you're already up by 30. Like just pound them.
They don't care if you lose if you win by 33.
Yeah, and like you're trying to beat a record here.
I feel like it just turns up into pick up basketball at the end anyway.
Yeah, that's true. When all the backups come in, now we just want to do anything.
When the whole court's filled with white guys,
we want to do anything but talk about Bo Nix versus Bryce Young, which I respect.
Broncos look good. Defense good.
They do look good, yeah.
They do. I told you.
Hope they don't beat the Ravens.
Yes. So I'm
Is it in Baltimore?
Yeah,
it's in Baltimore.
It should be fine.
Yeah, they're
Something about
Denver that I like them at home more. I like them way more at home.
We're probably like 4-point favorites in the ground.
I bet you're 6.
6 feels generous. Feeling pretty low on the team these
8.
days. 9
You know what's funny? 9's a
maybe.
lot. I might take
plus 9 for the Broncos.
I was gonna say I might take Broncos plus 9.
This could be like a
get right game.
game though.
Yeah.
And I think we play the Steelers
We do
after
play
the
the
Broncos. We play the Bengals again.
It's I don't know about 9, but I
Yeah,
think
we have the Bengals on a short week after the
that's
Broncos. So we need to get right
for the
game.
Broncos, I think.
I think it is disrespectful. Clearly Sean Payton looks at this shit and not
Yeah.
and like gets mad at people for disrespecting him. So I expect him to be
Sean
fired
Payton
up.
definitely has his kid on social media just telling him every
Oh,
bad
yeah.
thing people say about him.
He was ripping the bong at the 2020 draft. He's always online.
I thought you meant Sean Payton. I was like, what?
Sean Payton, yes.
What?
Yes, you not remember that video? Him ripping the
No.
bong in the 2020 draft? I don't think it was during the draft, but it was like
Oh, I was gonna
During
say
COVID.
back corner of the room.
no, it was like during COVID. It's like him in his living room with his kid hitting a bong.
That's
So he probably hits that and he scrolls on Twitter. He's like, all right. he's talking
Oh,
yeah.
One of us.
don't score
one
enough
of us.
points.
Yeah,
Watch
exactly.
this.
All right. Well, I don't care about the Panthers. Andy Dalton's
No,
gonna be
they're
back.
bad.
Niners.
Number 1 overall. Do they have the first overall pick this year? Like, do they have their?
Yeah, they have
first
their
round
pick. They have their pick.
All right. Do they actually get something for being bad this season?
Yeah, they will. Probably Quinn Ewers, and they'll probably mess him up too.
No way they take another quarterback. It's just
No, they will. You know they will.
It's
You
so
know they
bad.
will.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
It's so
they won't
bad.
take a quarterback.
They're the new Browns.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep taking them.
Like, how do you
Uh,
just take new quarterbacks every 2 years?
And then trade pieces away, like Deontay Johnson away from developing quarterbacks.
They're just such an unserious. Like, if you were gonna take a quarterback, like, go for it, or build up around him. Don't take a quarterback. I don't really want him. Put him back in. Figure it out. Like, how do you not have any plan?
Ethan, I just saw your text, so we'll run the last 2 games quick, and then Chris and I can end off. We'll talk some.
Is I gotta
basketball.
dip out of here soon?
Cowboys did the classic Dak Prescott. Made his stats look good at the end. Made it a game. Chris Collinsworth was begging it to be a game the whole time. Every time that the Niners incompleted the pass, he's like, "Oh, this could be a new ball game here," and it ended up being
Momentum's creeping over to the other side.
yeah, it ended up being a 1-score game. It didn't feel like a 1-score game in the third quarter. The San Francisco 49ers blew them out in the third, 21 points. They looked efficient. They looked better than they have in the past. Cowboys isn't much of a victory, but
All is right with the world.
yeah,
That's what this felt like.
yeah, they beat the Yep. And it was like a perfect. George Kittle got a nice game for tight ends day.
Tight
And
ends.
yeah,
The
And-
father of
and-
tight end day.
Yeah.
At this point, it's now.
he should play. I mean,
getting a
I'm
bit too
guessing.
much.
I'm guessing it was part of the schedule, but he should be playing Sunday Night Football every national tight end. He's the father of it.
That's cheese. Does
It's-
tight end day date change to be a Sunday every year?
It has to be.
It's like,
Uh,
is it like
has to-
Christmas that it has to
Yeah.
be
Sunday,
Sunday?
fuck
No,
it.
it has to be on a Sunday. It's like Thanksgiving.
Freaking Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it has to be on a Sunday.
Give me
and
like a
then,
Wednesday tight end day.
Ethan, before you leave, what's up with the Steelers? Are they good now?
Steelers.
They're better than they were for sure. I still don't think they're great. I still think that, like, if you can kind of prevent the deep balls, there's not a lot of explosiveness in their offense. But definitely better than and their defense is crazy. Their pass rushers are not fair.
Yeah, TJ
So,
Watt's.
the fact that the AFC North has the pass rush duos of TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith and Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett, like, that's crazy for AFC North tackles to deal with for 6 times a game or 4 times a year.
Yeah, that's absolutely brutal to go against. The Giants look decent. They didn't look bad. Actually, Daniel Jones looked all right.
Top 20 quarterback.
That's who they are. Like they haven't really gotten blown out a lot this year. I mean, the Eagles blew them out, but like I think they've gotten their ass kicked twice, and the other games they just kind of linger a bit, but they look terrible doing it. That Cowboys
What do you
game,
think
they had
their
a chance
next?
to win, but
What do you think their
Uh,
next step is this year? Do we go another quarterback? Because I don't think they're going to have a good enough pick to get a top guy.
yeah, what's the
Do you
point?
go like?
I just think they need to just get some more players at this point. If
Or do
we
you think
just-
they go like
You know what
veteran
they should
quarterback?
do is they should go back and not trade for Brian Burns, because I just don't
Or-
understand that move.
If we're going back, don't re-sign.
Yeah,
Daniel
don't
Jones.
give Daniel Jones
Yeah,
the
yeah.
worst contract in the well, not the worst, but
one
the
of.
top 5 worst NFL.
No one will ever be number one. That's reserved for one
That's
sexual
right.
predator that lives in Cleveland.
I think they're just going to convince themselves like they have been in the past. Like his stats are rounding out to
No,
be.
he will not. He will not play next
You don't
year.
think so?
He will not.
I want to see
No,
an
no
angry
chance.
Joe Mara. No more sad Joe Mara. Go in there angry. Say, this is what we're doing. Not, man, if I see Daniel Jones on our
What if
team
we-
next year.
What if we just did New York Hard Knocks off season every year?
Oh,
Did the
Dude, when
Giants?
does, speaking of Hard Knocks, when does AFC North in-season Hard Knocks start? That's going to be awesome.
I don't know, but that should be good. That should be.
I think that Bengals Ravens game, that first one's going to be on it. I think that's like the week they started recording for it.
Oh, that's sick. That should be fun. That was a good game.
Yeah, it was.
All right, do you have to leave, Ethan?
One last question before I go. Mainly for you, Chris. You're the Commanders fan here. Play of the year is like a thing at the end of the year, and last year was stupid. Lamar won it off his catching his own pass in the playoff game, which I don't think was play of the year. But I think at this point, it's either the Noah's Ark Hail Mary or it's Lamar's crazy, drop the snap, run over to the right, and chuck it to Isaiah Likely against the Bengals. What do you think wins play of the year at this point?
I mean, you're asking a pretty biased source.
Yeah.
I think a
but,
Hail Mary is almost like an automatic play of the year.
makes sense.
It's
Do you
tough
think there'll be
to
something?
once it
Do you
gets
think there'll be something
named.
more exciting after that, or more exciting than either of those this season?
I can't
Yeah.
imagine. But you never know. The NFL's a crazy league.
Once the play gets
Very true.
named, it's kind of locked for a play of the year.
Well, we don't have a
Right.
name yet. There's like 6 names. floating
Yeah.
around.
It's got to be Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is the best
Noah's Ark is pretty good.
because none of them also give the receiver any name. They're always named after the quarterback or the
Sure.
location. Give the receiver some
Yeah,
props.
it takes everybody to make that play happen.
Facts. Call it the Tyreek
Everybody doing
Stevenson
their
play.
job, and a couple guys not doing their job.
It takes a village.
It does take it.
Yeah, I would think that the Hail Mary probably gets the play of the year. Just because of zeros in the clock.
Game-winning play. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the NFL week. That's the recap. Ethan, you got anything else before you leave?
Nah, that's about it. We hit a lot. Got an exciting week of football this week coming up.
Yeah, excited.
We-
You got any
I
wise
think
picks
we're gonna start.
already? Not to put you on the spot or anything. You have
I say Ravens wide receiver 2 over their yards because I think
there you go.
the white corner on the Broncos is not very good.
Riley Moss. Nice.
Riley
Yeah.
something. Riley
Yeah.
Moss.
And then Ravens probably gonna win by 15.
There you go.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
I
for
like the
having me on,
confidence.
guys.
Of course, Ethan. Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you in the
having you on.
comments.
Yeah,
Of course, I'll try and be there.
appreciate it.
It's been real.
All right, Chris, just us. I just want to point out I got a men's basketball game tomorrow, and I'm excited.
Tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
That's
exhibition
awesome.
against Lamont Paris's alma mater. I don't even know what it's called. I'm not gonna lie. I think it starts with a W.
Citadel?
No,
Or no, you got to transfer.
Worcester.
Citadel.
Worcester.
In Maryland? What, Worcester?
Yeah, it's like a dog. Worcester. Never heard of it, but
I love when you just play a school that like you have no idea exists.
oh yeah,
It's a great way to start the season.
yeah, and it's an exhibition game, so it doesn't
We
even
play.
count. But
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
nothing beats college basketball.
No, nothing. What were you saying? Who's Maryland playing?
We played Manhattan the first week or first game, and that's November 5th, which would be Tuesday.
Yeah, election day, week from today.
Yeah. Yeah. While everybody's watching the election, I will be watching Maryland Manhattan.
That's better. That's way better than the election.
Way better.
I'm excited. I haven't dove deep into these guys yet. I want to see them in person.
Oh, never mind. It's the night before.
Oh, it's the 4th. That's a shame.
Yeah.
There's a guy though that caught my eye, Lance Piper. He's a freshman on this team, and Cam Scott,
Piper.
also a freshman. They are apparently they look good. They are 6'6" guard and 6'5" guard, so adding some more length.
I love it.
So I'm excited to see what they do. I'm guessing they're going to play a lot in the exhibition game. A couple guys from last year that should be playing this year. Austin Hero should be playing this year. So maybe he can get some shots off in the exhibition game. I'm just excited to see how it gels. Being in the arena, it's gonna be fun.
Yep.
It's always a blast. And
there is nothing better than that, like getting into the arena for the first time of the year.
Oh yeah.
And like the real fans are there because you're playing freaking Worcester.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm gonna be there like
deep into the basketball culture.
I'm gonna be there like 45 minutes before the gates open, and there's gonna be no one there. It's gonna be tumbleweeds. But that's okay with me. And I'm coming Friday with a full report on what we look like. So I want to get that out there. Yeah, I'm pumped. What's I mean, I guess we've kind of done your team before, but anyone in this exhibition game that you're excited to see?
I mean, we got a couple of transfers, so backcourt of Jacoby Gillespie and Rodney Rice are the two new guys. See how they play and fit in with Deshaun Harris-Smith, who was the only freshman from last year that didn't enter the transfer portal. I think he's a sleeping giant because he can't shoot at all. Didn't shoot at all last year, but he's insanely athletic, and I think we could see a big sophomore leap from him. And then obviously our 5-star freshman center, Derek Queen, him play next to Julian Reese down low could be Twin Towers-esque.
Yeah, that could be fun.
So,
and
we'll see. I feel like just talking about our starting lineup makes me feel really good, but we'll see how it gels together.
You were talking about the guy who can't shoot but athletic. Was that Roddy Rice? Is that who you're saying?
No, that's Deshaun Harris-Smith.
Roddy
Rice,
okay,
I'll have to see. He's a scorer, so he better be able to shoot.
So I was gonna say Harris-Smith. I mean, that's a guy in college that, I mean, it doesn't matter if he can shoot or not. So as long as you can get him to the basket, and if he's that athletic,
he's one of those like junkyard dog guys.
Yes, yeah, and
he's good, great defender.
So I like that. Nice. Looking good. I'm excited for college basketball.
Yep.
And that's all we got. You got anything else, Chris?
Nope. I think the wise dog is at the door right now.
Oh, okay. Let's get it.
She slept for like most of the episode.
We had enough guests, so we might as well have the wise dog on too. We need we need to get some bowls.
There she
and
is.
Next Tuesday we'll do the Thursday night game and have the dog pick.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well,
she's ready for her walk.
Oh yeah, she's ready. Well, then that means we gotta go. Thank you all for listening. We'll see everyone on Friday for Wise Pick.